Hey guys, it's Sandy P. Remember, Sandy with an I. Okay, the reason why it's Sandy with an I. Um, I'm from a family of 6 kids, and hold on, I'm just gonna move this laptop around. I'm just holding it. I'm from a family of 6 kids. I'm the only one. Actually, there were 7 of us. Um, but my brother, only who was 15 months older than me, only lived a couple hours. But I'm the only one my dad named, and you would think he had all the choices in the world. He picks out Sandra Jean. Can't get much more common than that. Anyway, I was a pretty good kid growing up. My only thing I rebelled at is that even though Dad called me Sandra Jean all the time, I went through my phases where I wanted to be called Sandy. Part of it was when I was in Maryland when I was a nanny, I would say my name was Sandy. And one girl that I used to babysit for, um, we called her Ika. Her name's Jessica. Um, there's a whole story behind Ika too. But just know that we love Ika. Written on swimmers all season long. Anyway, um, just for fun, she would go, Sandy with the Y. I go, no, it's Sandy with an I. And so that's how the Sandy with an I started. It was between me and Ika. That's how it started. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here and talk for a little bit. Um, I'm using this whole YouTube platform as kind of therapy for me. Y'all may see that a lot of my things that I get on here with are kind of random. Even with, just picking up Harper and talking about Harper, it's random. I've told you guys that my husband is a 9-year stroke survivor and a year and a half ago was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So life's been rough past 9 years. Yeah. We've been married for 13 years. We had our first tragedy. We were married in May, and then October, I had a miscarriage. Garrig would be in 7th grade right now. He was our only one. We never had a chance at our rainbow baby. But it's been rough, but we've gotten through it. One way I got through it is I went through a really rough stage when my due date came around, and that was right around the time of our first anniversary and Mother's Day, and I made some choices that weren't very smart. But then I went to I was working in an elementary school, and I went to the school nurse and I asked for help. And my principal took me to the crisis center, and they determined that basically I was just using physical pain to make the emotional pain go away. And I went through, ouch, sorry, I get random rashes. I went through a year of therapy. At first, it was twice a week. Then eventually, it was just once a week. Eventually, I was down to just once a month. And then he released me. So just like Sheldon on Big Bang Theory, I'm not crazy. My mom didn't have me tested. I had myself tested. But a couple of things that my therapist told me is that there is a middle child syndrome. It's a real thing. And he told me that I was the typical example of it. And I also have, everybody has problems with like separation anxiety and saying goodbye. I have an extreme case of it. And one thing he told me is to never keep anything inside, to talk about it, to write about it. And that has helped me through, that was 12 years ago I went through that. That's helped me through the last 9 years of our lives. And the talking about it was my mom. I would call mom probably 6 of the 7 days of the week. There are times when she would just go, why are you calling me? For the love of God, girl, leave me alone. Or, because she knew sometimes it's just random things I'd call about. Mom would let me just talk. And usually what would happen at the end is she would say, okay, breathe now. Because sometimes I would forget to breathe. I started having anxiety. We figured the anxiety started everyone was like amazed that I didn't have started having anxiety like after Frank's stroke and everything that we'd gone through then. Um, a couple years back, there were riots in Baltimore. Baltimore is my favorite city in the world. Um, I never lived in Baltimore, but I spent a lot of time there. And it was like when I lived in Maryland, it was my happy place. It was my place I would go just to get away from life. And so seeing those riots on TV and seeing the town that I loved, um, like tearing itself apart, I think that's what triggered some of my anxiety attacks. Um, but anyway, mom was my person I would talk to. My mom passed away in February, and so I don't have that sounding board anymore. Frank, he tries, but there is stroke brain going on. So it's like almost talking to a wall. And then with chemo, he has so much going on himself. So I started this. And y'all have been so great because some of my stuff, like I said, is so random. It's stuff that I would call my mom and talk about. So I just want to thank you all for that. Okay, enough seriousness for right now. I want to talk about, that $30 challenge. Um, I forgot to mention when I was talking about all mine that I also have, since I have that dozen eggs and I'm only using two of them, possibly two, maybe just one, for the meatloafs. And I have a lot of shredded cheese left. And if I had to, I could use a hot dog too. Chop it up, an omelet. I have enough for a couple omelets there. And if there's a hamburger roll left, I could toast that up, make toast out of it. Okay. So I forgot to mention that, so that could be another meal too. Um, I've lived that $30 challenge. I've been to the point where all we had left was $30 in the bank. Because of Frank's stroke, because of medical bills, because of, well, his insurance is pretty good, covers a lot, but there are non medical stuff that he needs that insurance doesn't cover, and just the fact of missing school to or missing work to take him to his appointments, transportation for appointments. This has been 9 years of it. It's not just been the past year and a half with his cancer. That's what some people don't understand is that, yes, the cancer is bad, but we've been living this life for 9 years. So I've lived that $30 challenge. And, right now I'm doing it just for fun, just seeing how many meals I could get out of it. But if you were doing it for real, some of those things I bought, I probably wouldn't have gotten. Like instead of the hamburger rolls, it would have been a loaf of bread. You can put your hamburger on a piece of bread. I probably would have gotten the crescent rolls. You can wrap your hot dog in a piece of bread. There may have been a package of bologna there because you can use that shredded cheese and bologna, and you can make a grilled cheese sandwich. A jar of peanut butter. You can live on peanut butter sandwiches. There may have been more cans of tuna fish sandwiches. There would have been ramen noodles. There would have been more boxes of macaroni and cheese. Um, yeah, if you have to do it, you do it. I've done it. I've lived it. There's chances we may go back to being there too. Who knows? Um, we live day to day. Uh, I um I know that God's watching out for us. So I know that we have people on our side. And the last thing that I said to my mom at the funeral was I asked her to keep an eye on Frank and my brother. My middle brother also has cancer. So I know my mom is watching out for us and watching out for my brother too. Um, so we're going to have rough days, but we're going to be okay. And I cry easily. I inherited my dad's crying gene. When he used to take me to the airport, like when I lived in Maryland, and I'd fly home to Nebraska, he'd take me to the airport and he'd talk about that damn dust at the airport. Made his eyes water. And my dad cried. I think he cried more than my mom did. It's on September 2nd. It'll be 8 years since we lost my dad. This is another thing. Right now is kind of a rough time. A couple days ago, it's a 1 year anniversary of Frank's mom passing away. one of my students that I had in Maryland, he was special needs. He was medically fragile. He was a special kid. A year ago, he passed away. Um, and yesterday was 3 years ago that lost my cousin to cancer. She's my age. Left behind a daughter. She's also a baseball fan. I miss her too. And 5 years ago, there was a student at the school that I worked at here. He was a first grader, and there was an accident in the lunchroom, and he passed away. And then we're coming up in September 1st. 3 years ago, one of my classmates passed away. Um, we were friends from even before we were in school. His older brothers and sisters are the same age as my older brothers and sisters. Um, my mom used to babysit for his nieces. It's our family's been intertwined forever. He moved out of state too. He lived in Washington State, and my husband and him became friends on Facebook. Um, I wish I could have met sometime. And then September 2nd, 8 years for my dad. So it's an emotional time right now too. But I'm doing what I can to take care of myself. I went swimming today. Um, this hair is in a braid because it's a sloppy braid. Because I got out of the pool and I just braided it. I had someone at the baseball game the other night ask me how I can braid my hair so nicely on the side. I just braid it and throw it to the side. It's not nice if you can see the back. But anyway, I was at the pool and okay, I live in Phoenix. Um, and my brain just froze. Okay, the pool, normally when I've gone there, there's just been maybe one, two, three people swimming. It's never been crowded. Today, there were like, in lane one, there were like 8 people. 2 of them were beginners and looked like they were just taking lessons because they had someone on the outside who was telling them what to do. And one of them, she did look like a beginner swimmer. I have so much respect for anybody who can teach adult lessons. I had someone once ask me to do adult swim lessons. I couldn't do it. I gave swim lessons to little kids. From youngest ones I worked with were like 2, 3 years old up until I was teaching kids up there. I think the oldest ones who came to me not knowing how to swim may have been 12, 13. Tried adult lessons. I couldn't do it. Anyway, so lane one had a lot of people. And then lane 2 and 3, there's only 3 lanes, had maybe about 5 people. And this older gentleman came up to me. He's like maybe in his 60s, 70s. I say older, that's, like 10, 20 years older than me. Anyway, he came up to me and he was deadly serious. So he goes, is it a Mexican holiday today? And I'm just going, what? He goes, I'm the only white guy at the pool today. And I'm looking at him and I'm going, okay, this girl's white. If you saw my kindergarten picture, when I was born, in the nursery they called me a little Indian baby. I was born hospitals on a reservation. But I was born in Nebraska. My kindergarten picture, I showed it to one of my friends, coworkers, who is Hispanic, and she asked me, she goes, "When were you a Hispanic little girl?" I'll have to show a picture of that sometime. Yeah, I did. I had dark skin, dark hair. I was the only one in my class with black hair, dark skin. Anyway, and then I'm swimming in lane 2 because lane 1 had all these people in it. And okay, I coached swimming and for like years, and we would have so many people in the lanes. Common sense is you swim down the right, swim back on the right. Correct? Not according to this one guy. This is one guy who's doing side stroke and elementary backstroke, things that we do when we're little kids, where you're doing both arms at the same time and not actual backstroke. He's swimming right on his own side. And if you came to swim on that side, he would either yell at you or gently nudge you out of the way. I was going, dude, you don't even know how to swim and you're doing this. Anyway, afterwards, Frank wanted me to go to McDonald's. So I rode to McDonald's. He just wanted a Big Mac and fries. That $30 meal thing, I'm just doing that for fun. we don't need to do it right now. And plus, we have gift cards. Gift cards are really nice. People have given Frank restaurant gift cards, and it helps us out so much because there are times when dealing with him all day, I just don't want to cook. Um, yeah, there's just times when having those gift cards are nice. But anyway, he wanted McDonald's. He wanted a Big Mac meal, no lettuce. No, he wanted a Big Mac and fries, but no drink. I thought, okay, I'll get the iced tea for me. So I bring it home, and I'm not thinking, and I put my iced tea on the floor. I forgot about Harper. Okay, Harper likes to drink iced tea. He doesn't drink soda, he just drinks iced tea. So he came over to my cup, sniffed it, and then started drinking from the straw. Harper can literally drink from a straw. And so I like shooed him away, and I went to go put something on. Frank has a little table with his computer on it, his laptop in the bedroom, but to put something up there for him. And Harper was right back there drinking my iced tea. I don't know. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't drink soda, and it's only iced tea. And he came and sniffed it before he started drinking it. Um, and then, even funnier than that, Wrigley was sitting on the bed with me, and Frank was eating his Big Mac and fries. Well, he dropped a fry. Wrigley leaped off the bed, and I think she was at Frank's feet before the fry hit the floor, and she ate it. My cats are moochers. Okay, well, it's been 16 minutes of me just talking. Right about now, my mom would say, Sandra, breathe. This is the type of phone call I'd make to my mom. So if you guys don't mind, I might do this from time to time, just talk. Um, it helps me. Um, Later on today, I'm going to go on and I'm going to do a paparazzi show. I'm going to try to see if I can find a way to show some of my jewelry on here too. But if any of you are interested in paparazzi, let me know and I'll get you a link to my page. Um, Thanks for taking the time to watch. If you want to hear me talk some more, if you want to see any of my stuff, subscribe, like it, leave a comment, and thanks a lot, guys, for bearing with me. Love y'all. Bye.